BIONICLE, Legends 10, Swamp of Secrets. Written by Greg Farshti. Recording by Tory. Interlude 4. Takanuva's vision of the past continues. Pohatu could honestly say he had never seen anything like this Kartanui place before. Of course, he hadn't seen much of anything in his short existence, but that didn't alter the fact that this place was incredible. Kartanui was vast, almost a world within the world. Vast stalactites hung from a ceiling that was so high it was almost impossible to even see them without the aid of the telescopic eyepiece on Kopaka's mask. A huge sandy plain stretched out seemingly forever. Even with his mask of speed to help, it would have taken Pohatu a while to explore the whole place. Pohatu turned to Liwa and pointed toward the sky. "Did you try making it all the way up yet?" Liwa shook his head.
"I need a little more practice with this mask of levitation first. I wouldn't want to get distracted halfway up and then get dead, you know? Besides, our fearless leader says there's work to be done down here first."
The plain was dotted with settlements inhabited by Matoran of Light. The villagers were toiling in various places in Kartanui, often vanishing for days only to reappear worn out from their labors. A flash of light in the distance drew the Toa's attention. "Uh-oh," said Pohatu. "Here we go again. Grab hold." Liwa took hold of Pohatu's arm and let the Toa of Stone pull him along at super speed toward the site of the sudden illumination. Onua and Tahu were already there, and not faring very well. The Toa of Earth was on the ground, his chest plate scorched and still smoking, while Tahu's walls of flame were proving to be no obstacle at all. These were what the Matoran called Avoca, and the reason the Toa were there. At first, the villagers who labored in Kartanui thought the place was just prone to violent lightning storms. But after more than a dozen Matoran were killed by lightning strikes, the rumor started that the bolts of energy were actually hostile and intelligent beings. The Toa's first few encounters with the Avoca seemed to verify this. The lightning bolts avoided obvious traps and seemed to go out of their way to do harm. "Where's Gali?" asked Pohatu. "She's the only one who has been able to slow these things down." "Off fighting another outbreak west of here with Kopaka," said Tahu, hurling fireballs to try to divert the lightning strikes. "They'll get here when they can. Meanwhile, it's up to us."
"Ah, this is the life," said Liwa,
nimbly dodging a bolt.
"Wake up in the morning, have a little breakfast, and then spend all day trying to avoid being fried."
"Look at it this way," said Pohatu, as a lightning bolt shattered his hastily created rock wall. "If you don't avoid it, you won't have to worry about what we have for breakfast tomorrow. And look out!" A massive Avoca was headed right for where Tahu and Liwa were standing. Both Toa reacted at the same time. Liwa used his wind power to hurl a blanket of sand into the air and try to blind the creature, while Tahu launched a wave of super hot fire. Neither really expected their hasty defense to work. Both braced for the painful outcome. It turned out to be quite different from what they expected. The combination of sand and flame had resulted in a third substance, a hard, translucent, and extremely thick material that formed a wall between the two Toa and their foe. The bolt struck the wall of glass, but did not pierce it. Liwa didn't waste his time being stunned.
"What are we waiting for, Flame Face?"
"We work together," agreed Tahu, already adding his fire to the sand Liwa was stirring up. And don't call me that.
Oh, don't be such an ash,
Liwa replied, laughing. When they were done, the lightning bolt was completely enclosed in a thick glass dome. It couldn't get out, and its fellow Avoca weren't having any luck freeing it. Puzzled by this, they withdrew, though no one doubted they would be attacking again, soon, somewhere else. Gali and Kopaka appeared soon after, both looking exhausted.
We drove them off,
reported the Toa of Water.
But I have to remember to use water bursts and not a stream. Otherwise, ouch.
Liwa wasn't paying attention. He had spotted a spherical structure on the horizon, this one not made by the Toa.
Hey, what's that?
Kopaka glanced at Tahu so swiftly that none of the others noticed it. Tahu shrugged in response. It's called the Coderex. It's not important right now.
Maybe not to you,
answered the Toa of Air.
Me? I'm kind of bored with busy Matoran, angry sparklers, and sand, sand, sand. I'm going to check it out.
No, said Tahu, more harshly than he had intended. You're needed here. We can explore later.
If you don't want to come, don't come,
Liwa answered, already walking away.
Don't pull that big leader stuff with me. I never voted for you.
Kopaka fired a blast of ice from his sword, completely encasing Liwa from shoulders to knees. Tahu's team leader. And he said no, so it's no. Later, Tahu approached Kopaka, when they were out of earshot of the others. Thanks, said the Toa of Fire. I could have handled it, but I appreciate your support. Don't thank me, answered the Toa of Ice. We should just tell them the truth about the Coderex. All of it. We need to keep them focused on the Avoca, not on what comes after, Tahu argued. There will be time enough for them to worry about that. All too much time, probably. Kopaka turned away, obviously unconvinced. It's your decision, but think about this. How would you feel if someone you trusted kept secrets from you? End of Interlude 4.